single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way. Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way.
Alright guys, my nickname is going to be Little Drummer Boy. I'm always doing some type of beat. It's very therapeutic for me. I love it. Alright guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is when you watch this video, just make it apply. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week. No drama, no stress, just good vibes only. Guys, if you have any questions, any concerns, if you need any help reaching your goals, you can hit me up on Instagram. It's Rashad King 2017. And to make it easy for you, it's going to be a link attached to this video. It's going to be in the description. All you have to do is go in the description, click on the link, and it will take you directly to my Instagram page. All right, guys, we're already 50 seconds in this video, so let's go ahead and start talking about the topic for this week. All right, so guys, if you've been following my videos for the last couple of weeks, you know that we are talking about how to really get to the realm of complete healing. I started this video about 3 weeks ago. The very first week, we talked about how healing is more than just the physical plane, that in order for you to reach complete healing, you have to involve the mental and emotional state. And I broke it down by telling you that in order for you to get to healing, you need self-love, you need self-acceptance, you need self-respect, and you need self-worth. So I already did the video on self-love and self-acceptance. I'm hoping that you guys have seen the videos. So when it comes to self-love, we talked about how you really need to take the time out and understand who you are. That's what self-love is all about, is you are tapping in the spirit, your innermost being, and you're learning who you are, your beauties, your attributes, all of these things about you that you didn't know because you allow other people to influence the way that you think and the way that you see yourself. So you really need to take that time to love you and to really understand you. The week after, we talked about self-acceptance. Self-acceptance is now to the point where I love myself, but now I need to learn that I don't need to seek validations from other people. That's what got me in this predicament in the first place, is that I allow other people to shape my mind. And so self-acceptance is saying, don't get me wrong, I'm not kicking everyone out of my life, and I will never let someone give me advice again. That's not what it's saying. But what it's saying is, I will always put me first. That if it don't sound right, and if it's drawing a negative conclusion of me that's really not present, that's false, I'm not going to allow it to go in my mind. I'm going to instantly knock it down. That's what self-acceptance is saying, is that, I now know who I am, and I will never go back to that state of being defeated, of being lonely, of being depressed, of being suicidal. That's what self-acceptance is, when you finally step in your power. You know what power you possess, and now you're continuing the journey so that you can keep healing. And so, of course, now since you got this self-acceptance, we're here talking about self-respect. All right, guys, I hope I didn't bore you with the details of the last week, but it's a reason for it. It's because these things are so connected and they have to go in that order. Is, self-love. I love myself. I know who I am now. Self-acceptance. I now know the authority that I possess, and I will not seek validation from no one else. That, that validation will come from me. And when you look at it, both, self-love and self-acceptance is an internal battle. You are in your mind making these decisions, unconsciously, subconsciously, you are here. You're not in the physical plane. You're in the mental, you're in the emotion. You're in the thing that actually help you to see. Remember, we don't see with our eyes. We see with our mind. Because even though, the sky is blue, but if we allow other people to convince us that the sky is purple, guess how we're going to see the sky? We're going to see the sky as purple. So you really don't see with your eyes. You see with your mind. And that's why your mind and your heart is so powerful. Those internal things are the most powerful things of your entire being. And I tell you all the time, the physical is not much. These muscles, they will fade away. The beauty, the long hair, it will fade away. And so you really want to make sure that you're implanted with who you are internal. So guys, like I said, self-love and self-acceptance is a really an internal battle. But now, when it comes to self-respect is the one thing that goes in the physical plane so much. One of the things that the scripture says, it says that you are supposed to treat your neighbor like you treat yourself. Guys, most people don't realize how true and how real that scripture is. It's impossible to treat somebody differently than how you treat yourself. You can only treat somebody based off what's inside of you. So if what's inside of your heart is disrespect, then you treat people with disrespect. If what's inside of you is respect, then you treat people with respect. When you look up the definition of respect, respect is having regards of other people's feelings, of other people's desires, of other people's wants. That's what respect is. So respect is more in, your common courtesy. It's just really being polite. It's being pleasant to other people. And you're putting yourself in a position where, honestly, you just play well with other people so that you can attract people and keep them around. So when you're not operating in self-respect, of course, you're doing the opposite where you're disrespectful. People that don't have self-respect, they are very cold and distant. It feels as if they don't have a heart at all. They will say whatever that comes to their mind with no filter, not sugarcoating it at all. And it's like it feels as if the purpose behind it is to always tear somebody down. They never know how to encourage people, motivate people, inspire people. It's impossible for them to build someone up, because you can't do it when you're detached from your feelings, because that's exactly what someone that don't have self-respect, it feels like. It feels like they're completely detached from the emotional plane, which is very dangerous. Someone that don't have self-respect is the person that's praying for a marriage, but you're messing around with all of these married people. You're contradicting yourself. Number one, you're putting out in the universe that you want love, but then at the same time, you're putting out in the universe that you don't even respect love. So, what do you think you're going to get? What do you think the universe is really going to give you? Let's be real. When you don't have self-respect, it's the person that is able to mess around with one of their siblings, husbands, or wife. That's what happened when people don't have self-respect. The person is always going to come off as cruel. Most people will see it as, them being evil. They're always hot-headed. They're always going to go into a tantrum. And honestly, when someone don't have self-respect, they don't differ from friend and foe. They see everyone as a foe. And so that's one of the reasons why I like this shirt. People that don't have self-respect, this is exactly how they think. That I'm going to get up, and then the second thing is survive. That's all they're worried about today of the day is surviving. Instead of living, enjoying moments, talking to friends, being around loved ones, going into relationships, enjoying your career. No, I'm not going to think about any of that. The only thing that someone that don't have self-respect, they're always surviving. So it's a good example is, I can go to someone and say, hey, you're not matching. And I'm saying it in the nicest way possible. And the only reason I'm telling you this is because I don't want everybody to tease you because you're not matching. Someone that don't have self-respect, everything is a battle to them. Even though you are telling them something that can help them, that can prevent them from going into a situation of them being teased, something that can be very chaotic for them, or that can be another trauma. The first thing that person will say is, "Look, bitch, I don't need your advice. Don't give me your advice again. I'm good." Everyone is a foe when you don't have respect for yourself. Now you have to think, how did I get here? How did I actually get to this state where I'm pushing everybody away? And if I'm not pushing them away, people are literally running out of my life and don't want to have anything to do with me. People are blocking me on social media. People are blocking me from their cell phones that if I call, it goes straight to voicemail. How did I get here? When it comes to self-respect, you got there because you listened to other people. That means other people was in your life telling you negative things, you believe those negative things, and the one thing about believing something is that you marinate in it. Is that once you took everything that somebody told you and you didn't remove it quickly and say, no, I'm good, that's not me. Once you take it in and you believe it, you are taking yourself and you're just putting yourself in a bowl with everybody's words, and you're staying there. And the longer you stay there, everyone words and everyone energy that they put in your life is marinating. It's just like when you're cooking, you put chicken in a bowl with some type of marinating seasoning. Guess what? That seasoning is going inside. That chicken is now going to taste like the marinating sauce that you put in. That's exactly what's happening in your life. That you're allowing yourself to be in a bowl with everyone else's negative energy, and now that negative energy is changing you. The one thing about self-respect is you made a choice. You made a choice to listen to everyone else. And now because you're listening to everyone else, you became the person that they were. So everyone that don't have that self-respect, they always become the person that they hated the most. And I've seen that so many times in life, is that, you would have a kid that is damaged because their parents was never around. Their parents literally abandoned them where they were in the foster care system. They always fought for, self-love, self-acceptance. And once you are fighting for self-love and self-acceptance for a while, after a while you just give into it and you just say, you know what? I'm just not going to have it. A lot of people in the foster care system, I feel for them because they suffered through that, nobody loves me. And then from there, they start to try to seek validation. And then when that don't work, they just automatically believe everything that people have said. And that's where the respect come in. You have no respect for yourself now. And when you don't have respect for yourself, you will believe anything that anybody tell you. You will fall for anything. You have no values. You have no morals. You have no principles at this moment. And that is the worst person to come across. It's somebody that has nothing to lose. And you don't have nothing to lose because you don't value you and you don't value your life. And you have no principles or anything to stand on that will reel you back in and get you back into reality. And so now you put yourself in a situation where you become the thing that you hated. You hated your parents for abandoning you. But now you're a parent and you're abandoning your kids. You hated the fact that your parents was on drugs. And now because of that, you think about it and you marinate in that so much. Now you become the drug addict. We gotta get to the point that we have to respect ourselves. We have to respect our lives. We have to respect, everything about us. Because if you don't respect yourself, you can't get into self-worth. You will never see yourself worthy, which is next week's topic. You will never see yourself worthy if you don't have self-respect. You will never respect yourself if you don't have self-acceptance. You will never accept yourself if you don't love yourself. And so these things are so divinely connected, and the end result is now complete healing. But it's like, how do we get out of this stage? How do we get out of this stage that we now come to the reality of respecting ourselves? The way you get to this point now of finally respecting yourself is giving back to people what they gave to you. You have to give it back. It was never yours to begin with. You got to get rid of it. The one thing that I love about the Bible is the Bible talks about loosing and binding. That's what this week is. That's the exercise for this week. Is I'm going to teach you how to loose and how to bind. When we talked about self-love, the one thing I wanted you to do is I wanted you to meditate with a candle. I told you a purple candle because purple is for spiritual awakening, but it really could have been a pink candle because pink is for self-love. But it was to meditate and tap into spirit and allow spirit to tell you who you are. And I told you to create a list of everything that you are so that you can finally know yourself and you know the beauties and everything else that you possess. And then we went into self-acceptance, where I told you that you need to meditate with a blue candle. And when you meditate with you're meditating with a blue candle, and you're finally coming into peace of who you are. And you're in a position where you're accepting you. It's no more will you seek validations from other people, because I know who I am, and you're walking into your power. And now we come to self-respect, and I want you to once again meditate with a purple candle, because purple is the color of spiritual awakening. Let's go back into spirit, tap into spirit. And this time, instead of asking spirit, who am I? You're teaming up with spirit, high five, holding hands, and you're loosing and binding. Lord, I bind that I'm a rude and disrespectful person. I bind the spirit of abandonment. I bind the spirit of loneliness. I bind the spirit of separation. I bind the spirit of headaches. You're binding all of those things that people gave you, that people put in your life. It's not yours. You're literally taking this, and it's just an object, an object that was near. You're taking what people put in you, and you're here. Get it back. This was never mine to begin with. I'm giving it back to you. And that's the purpose of binding. I'm binding all of these things that I allow other people to put in my life that was never mine to begin with. And then you're loosing the things that you are and the things that you want to be. I bind disrespectful, and I respect, and I bind a disrespectful attitude, and I loose an attitude of love, of peace, of compassion. I bind having a cold heart, and I loose a heart of love. I bind the spirit of abandonment, and I loose the spirit of family. I loose the spirit of wholeness. I loose the spirit of togetherness. I loose the spirit of completeness. That's the exercise for today, guys, is bind those things that you don't want to be no more. The things that is making people run away, the things that's making people block you, the things that's making people, just completely get out of your life. Bind those things, understand what they are, and let go of it. And not only are you just saying it in words, but you're doing it in actions as well, because self-respect is all about actions. It's what's inside of you literally manifesting in the physical form. And so you're letting go of those things Lord, I loose a marriage. If you're really trying to loose a marriage, then respect a marriage. Stop messing around with all of these married people. Stop messing. And you should go so far to say, I'm not even going to mess around with somebody in a relationship. That's the depthness of respect that you should have for yourself. That if I'm giving myself to somebody, then that person needs to be my all, and I need to be all for them. So get to that level of respect. And it's even when it comes to work, give your all at work. Lose the attitude, lose the laziness, stop doing things, stop looking for shortcuts. If you're saying, Lord, I'm losing a career, I'm losing a promotion, then your actions need to manifest that. Manifest that in your actions. Show that you're willing to learn, that you're adaptable, that you can, that you can take on extra tasks. Whatever you lose, you need to show in your actions so that you can actually manifest the thing that you were trying to lose in your life. And then ultimately you will get back to the period of where you were supposed to be. Or not period, you will get back to the state of where you were supposed to be in the beginning before you allow other people to actually influence your life. All right, guys, I hope this video was helpful. I love self-respect, man. Like I said, self-respect is so important because this is the one that actually manifests it creeps out. Self-love and self-acceptance, normally it stays in, but self-respect, it creeps out. And trust me, people will notice self-respect in the physical form a whole lot faster than self-love. Self-love and self-acceptance, you can kind of hide that a little bit because it's really all mental. It's mental. Some people wouldn't even see that you have a problem in those areas unless you were in a relationship with them or something like that, and you can start picking up on clues. But self-respect, boy, whether you in a relationship or not, it's creeping out. People are going to see if you respect or if you don't respect. So, man, guys, do the exercise. It's time to loose and bind. Loose the things that you want God to give you. Bind the things that people gave you and give it back to them. Throw it back at them. In the mental plane, throw it back at them and say, you know what? I'm done with this. I had this long enough. It's time for you to get it back. All right, guys, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'm praying that this video really do help you guys. And then finally, next week, we're going to talk about self-worth, which is the last of this series, so that we can finally get into the completeness and the wholeness of healing. All right, guys, I'm out.